I've had many bad sex encounters. Many.
Everyone knows what it means to be a doctor, a lawyer, or a teacher. In this series, we spotlight unique profiles with untypical jobs you've probably never heard of to tell us what they do and how they got here. In a truth or dare format, each profile will draw question cards from the deck and attempt to answer hard truths about their profession. For every question that they cannot answer, they will have to perform a surprise dare as an alternative.
Hi everyone, my name is Martha. I'm a relationship counsellor and clinical sexologist. I've been in practice for 12 years and I work with individuals, couples, with all kinds of relationship, sexuality, challenges, issues, concerns. What got you interested in human sexuality at the beginning? I think I've always been interested in human sexuality because I always wondered about what sex is like as a child. I remember when I was a kid, I asked my mom, is sex something that I can look forward to when I grow up? And my mom didn't say anything, she just smiled. And that planted the seed to me like, oh, this is something that I can look forward to when I grow up, when I'm ready. How has your job changed your perception about intercourse and intimacy? So many of my clients, they have sex problems, that's why they're coming to see me, but I also see how much they hang on to the bond between the two of them beyond the sex. And I have come to appreciate how special it is and how healing it is. A lot of my clients cannot have sex, and once they are able to have sex, like how empowered, how they light up from inside. As a woman who talks a lot about sex, do you always receive backlash from the public? I think for the most part, a lot of people are curious and positive about my work. Some of the backlash that I have received would be like, you call her a sexologist, but she's not sexy. What? Pay her to talk about sex? You pay me, I also don't want to have sex with her. Every single time I appear in the media, I do get criticisms about like, I'm not pretty, or I'm not sexy, or I'm ugly. I don't really care. I mean, it hurts, it does hurt, but my work is so much more than how I look. People who make fun of me, who post certain things on forum like, oh, she must be very good in bed, or she doesn't look like she's good in bed. I feel it's more about them than anything, and I don't really need to care because the whole point of me putting myself out there is to help more people, and the people who come to me actually have gone through a lot of suffering and a lot of pain. And to be able to help them is the best feeling in the world. That's why I keep doing what I do. Do you have to get physical with your clients? No, I don't. There's no touch on nudity in my work. I am registered with the American Association of Sexuality Educators, Counselors and Therapists. So one of our code of ethics, and also with Singapore Association of Counsellors, is we cannot touch our clients. I would never even hug a client unless they want to hug me, but nothing beyond that. I don't even shake their hand because I don't want them to feel uncomfortable. Is there something you never want your parents to know about your job? No, not really. My mom passed away 3 years ago. The relationship now with my dad is that he will even send me sex jokes. He will send me like things that may be useful to my work, sex articles. So he's like my researcher. Complete the sentence. People often mistake my profession as a surrogate. They think that I have sex with my clients. They think that I use my body to help clients to be able to have sex or better sex. And a lot of clients will assume that, oh, you're just talking from like books. In reality, I actually teach them sexual skills without having sex with them. I'll give them like assignments and homework, and then they can go home and practice by themselves or with their partner. So they assume that you must touch someone, you must have sex with someone because sex is like a physical act, which is very not true.
What are some examples of like sexual skills?
Sexual skills can include learning how to relax, how to be in your body. So for instance, I would explain to them the different parts of the anatomy because a lot of them, they are confused, they are not sure where's the entrance to the vagina. So I would say like this is the anus, this is the entrance to the vagina. It's not really about opening it so that you can go in. It's also not about aiming for the middle. It's about like going in from the bottom of the entrance of the vagina, and so it's more at a 45-degree angle. And then when they go in, how they can stimulate the G-spot. I talk about all the different parts. I talk about the clit, how to stimulate the clit over the clitoral hood. They can move their hands side to side, up and down, round and round. So I talk about also the pressure, the rhythm, And actually, even just seeing how they are on the toy, I can tell if they're putting a lot of pressure. So I can say, what if it was 50% softer? Never have I ever had a bad sex encounter. I've had many bad sex encounters. Many. I've had a lot of painful sex because I'm very sensitive. So for many years, I was very angry with men that I have sex with. And then it became men in general. And then I started to make sweeping statements about men because I would always say like, stop, slow down, gentler. And they would do it for like 1 second and then they'll just go back to doing the same thing. So what I learned much later that female and male bodies actually feel sensation and pain in a different way. We are not just a smaller version of a man. We are actually at least 30% more sensitive than men. Never have I ever felt ashamed of my job. I don't feel ashamed of my job. I just don't want to talk about it all the time. I have colleagues, when people ask her what she do, sometimes she'll just say she is a secretary, she's an admin, she's a cleaner. Just because we don't want to go through the whole, wow, so interesting, tell me about your weirdest client. No, I'm not your entertainment. So I'm not ashamed, I just don't want to talk about work when I'm not paid, when I'm tired.
You managed to answer all of the true questions. Are you curious at all what is in the deck cards?
Sure. Yeah, 3 different ways to refer to the vagina. Oh my god, I only know obscene words. A vagina, cunt, pussy. Demonstrate a step of orgasmic yoga. So it's not really like yoga poses. Orgasmic comes from build out a sensation in the body, and yoga actually is a practice, so orgasmic practice. For instance, you can squeeze your pelvic floor muscles, and then you can visualize the energy moving from your genitals through your whole body. One step would be squeeze and release, and then you can also do more, feel more. So you can also move your upper body, so you can do squeeze and shake. Then you can breathe in an excited way, so you can so you start moving the energy through your body. Yeah, it's just like instead of walking, people run, right? So that they get more into that time. Okay, show and tell your favorite sex toy. This is Iroha Petite. It's a new product on the market. It's actually meant to be a one-time toy. So it looks exactly like a jelly. So you peel open the top. It may have all this soapy liquid. Pour it out. Pop it onto your hand like this. And then it can go, pop it into your hand, then put it between your fingers. It feels exactly like what the tongue will feel like. You don't have to worry about your nail polish coming out, your nail art. You just stimulate this over the clit. You can put this in the fridge. You can put it in warm water. It's just super nice. So I tried this. I had an orgasm in less than 5 minutes because it's what I like, you know. Your clit is full of nerve endings. This feels so soft and self-lubricating. I don't have any like fear of catching a bacterial infection. But please don't eat it. It's not meant for eating. So hide it from your kids in case they think it's their new treat. So another one of my favorite toys, I really mean is my favorite, even though I don't have a penis. You can open it up. The sticker shows the design on the inside. So it comes with a water-based lubricant and a sleeve like this. So it looks like a condom, but it's not a condom. So you apply the lubricant internally, and then this goes over the shaft, and you can use this for masturbation. It's also meant for one-time use, although I have clients who use it more than one time. It's very thin, and so it will start to break down after one-time use. Why I like this is because it helps to change the grip on their penis. It supports them in learning how to last longer in the bedroom. By changing the grip, it will allow them to experience sensation in a different way and to break habits, so that when they're with a partner, they can develop more confidence, more flexibility, and become more adaptable. So you all have lah, you use on your husband. Save your vagina. Save your vagina. Your vagina gets tired. We've come to the end of this episode. We hope that you have learned something new. And if you have enjoyed this episode as much as I have, then please hit the like, share, and subscribe button at itsclarity.co. Bye! Wait! I have a mystery gift for you. It is going to feel amazing. So go to itsclarity.co Instagram and find out all about it.